The Premier League is back. The excitement is building. It feels like yesterday where we didn't win the Premier League.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
We lost out by 1 point. If we beat Man City, we would have won the league. With the league beginning tomorrow, and I will be going to the first game of the season tomorrow, Friday night. I like Friday night games. A lot of people don't. I like them. It's time to predict the Premier League season for the 2019 and 20 season. This is going to be phenomenally fun. It is always fun, guys, and I've left this one quite late, but I had to obviously get it out before the Premier League began, and I know that the transfer window is ending today, probably like an hour after this video goes live, so I'm going to base my predictions off right now, so we're going for that. In fact, this is Wednesday, the day before this video goes live, so we'll see how this prediction goes. I'll obviously react to this prediction in about, 10 months time. Let's begin. I'm going to go from 20th place all the way to the Premier League champions for the 2019 and 2020 Premier League season. I'm going to go with Brighton as the 20th team. This may surprise some of you, and may not others, but I just don't see Brighton surviving this campaign. They have, to be fair to them, spent quite a bit of money. They spent at least 60, 70 million pounds on new players such as Trossard there from Genk. They've got Webster from Bristol City for 20 million. They brought in quite a few players. I just don't think they'll do it. Maybe I'm completely wrong with this one, but I'm going to go Brighton as 20th. Sorry, Brighton. These are never personal. Even when frickin' Man United come up in this prediction, which obviously they will, it's never personal. Not that anyone really likes Man United if you're not a Man United fan, but anyway, it's never personal. At 19th position, guys, in the Premier League season for this upcoming season, for me, is going to be Norwich City. They are forever a team who seem to get promoted, then get relegated, wait a few years, get promoted again, then get relegated. I think they're going to be the team, though, to finish in 19th position. I do like their manager. Now, I want to say this. I like him a lot. I think he's going to be a very good manager in the future. However, I just don't see them not being relegated. I think they're going to get relegated, guys, in the new season. Saying that, I really wouldn't be surprised if they do come like 16th, maybe a bit better even. However, they've brought in only 4 players. They have got Farman in, the 83 rated goalkeeper in Ultimate Team. Maybe he'll be 83 again next FIFA. SBC fodder for life, that guy. So, yeah, 4 players, though, when you've just been promoted isn't great. When you build off a championship team, it doesn't always work. You need probably more additions. Other promoted teams have got more signings. And I just think they'll go back down. I think this will be one of those ones where I think Norwich will, be relegated or 17th, and it'll be 1 or 2 spots off. I think I'll probably get this one nearly spot on. I'm pretty confident with this one. This could really backfire, couldn't it, in a year's time at reacting to this prediction, but I'm going to go for Norwich, 19th. Now, this next team, I have a lot of respect for. I used to play a lot of county tennis nearby Burnley. I think it was in a place called, was it South Ribble? I think it was. Anyway, back in the day. And I don't like saying that Burnley could be relegated. And I know they've got Sean Dyche. He knows how to survive a Premier League season. They really did struggle, though, for a lot of last season. And they have brought in about 4 or 5 players there, with Jay Rodriguez being the most expensive at £10 million. He's a decent player. Again, this is just my prediction. I do think Burnley will get relegated this season. And yeah, maybe I'm completely wrong. They've lost Tom Heaton there to Aston Villa for £8 million as well. I'm going with Burnley, guys. I don't like saying that because they're a nice club, but it's my prediction, man. I'm going for it. It could be completely wrong, or it could be completely right. They've lost Peter Crouch as well. End of an era. Even though it just said Burnley, guys, will finish in 18th position, I do think Watford could have a lot of issues this season with a long campaign ahead. And fair play to Watford. They did get to the FA Cup final last year, I believe. Was it FA Cup final? I think it was, against Man City. And they've only brought in 1 player. That player is Craig Dawson. Not really the kind of player you want to build a season off. He's an okay defender. I don't really think it's an amazing buy, but they've lost, I think it's something ridiculous, like 18 players. They've released that many players. They've loaned out a lot of players. They've obviously got players like De La Feu, who's actually pretty good. They've got Ducour. They could definitely have a average season, which would be good for Watford. If they finish in like 13th kind of place, I'd probably say that's a good season for Watford with their transfer activity. But only bringing one player in just made me think they could have a very bad season. If Deeney gets injured, if their best players even maybe go in the January transfer window, they could struggle. So I'm going to go for the 17th position for Watford. In 16th position, guys, I'm going to go for Sheffield United. This is my kind of curveball team, a team you maybe wouldn't expect me to place at 16th. A lot of you guys are probably going to predict they'll finish 20th or maybe even 18th. However, I like their core squad. I like the way they play with their centre-backs storming up the pitch. They may get found out defensively by doing that. Their quality with the way they play is ridiculous, but I like some of the players they brought in. And it's a bit of a strange one, but I really think that their purchase of Ravel Morrison, he's a player who's got an abundance of talent, obviously has been atrocious with his behaviour at the likes of Man United, Lazio, West Ham, never settled down at all. We all know he's got talent though. Apparently the trial with Morrison went really well. I think that it's a risk, massive risk bringing him in, but if it pays off, that could be a quality purchase. That could be a great signing. However, obviously, if it doesn't, then they could be a bit screwed. So it's one of those, like, it's either great or bad for them. Anyway, they've brought in Jagielka for free on a free transfer from Everton, and that'll obviously bring experience. Not sure how much he'll play. They brought in Musset there from Bournemouth, 10 million. They brought in about 9 players, so that's good to see from Sheffield United. They have lost a few as well. Obviously, going to the Premier League, always they're going to lose a few players on loan. But I've got a sneaky feeling that Sheffield United could surprise us. I'm going to go for 16th for the Blades in Yorkshire. At 15th position, guys, in the new Premier League campaign, I'm going to be going for Southampton. Now, I actually think that their manager is a much better manager than Mark Hughes has shown. He did much better, I believe, at this latter stage last season. Introduced some new tactics. I like his style. I think he'll be a good manager. They are a team, though, that although they seem to bring new players in, they don't seem to just move up a level. They had obviously a great season. Was it like 13-14 season? No, before that. Like, was it 11-12 or 12-13 season? When they had the likes of Lallana, Lovren, you know what I mean? All those players that we seem to buy. And they are a team that could do about 15th position in the league, or they could actually potentially get relegated. I honestly think that kind of team, they're either surviving or they are going down. I just don't know. But I'm going to predict with not much confidence that they'll finish 15th. At 14th position, and as I'm doing this video, I really feel like they could also be a team that could be near the relegation zone. Part of me is thinking, should I change this prediction? I'm honestly thinking about it. Anyway, I'm going to put Crystal Palace, guys, as 14th position. I feel like that's a bit too high for them, considering they're about to lose Zaha. As I'm recording, he could be going to Everton, he could be going to Arsenal. There's talk with Spurs even. But they have lost Aaron Wan-Bissaka for 45 million. They're about to lose arguably their most important player in Zaha. Where are the goals going to come from? They brought in Jordan Ayew from Swansea. They've got Gary Cahill, which I think he's still a decent centre-back. I think they'll survive, but I think 14th could be a push. I'm still going to go for it. 14th for Crystal Palace, guys. Screw it, we're going for it. Talk about being a promoted team and spending when you've just been promoted. Fair play, Aston Villa. I feel like they are a club that deserve to be in the Premier League in terms of their stature. A bit similar to Blackburn. You've got Leeds, obviously, is one of the biggest clubs outside of the Premier League, not to be in the Premier League. And Aston Villa, man, have spent an absolute fortune. They've brought in Tom Heaton, 8 million. Marvellous Nakamba, what a name, from Club Brugge, 11 million. That's 19 million. 15 million there for Douglas Luiz, 34 million. Trezeguet, 8.5. That is 42.5. That goes up to 53 million with the signing of Matt Target. Jota from Birmingham City, undisclosed. El Ghazi from Lille, think that he was already on loan there. 22 million for Wesley, I like that signing. Konsa there from Brentford, 12 million. Yeah, they've spent a fortune. They've spent over 100 million pounds, guys, on players. I think they're going to survive, and I think they're going to surprise us. I think they're going to get to 13th position. However, for some reason, I've got a sneaky feeling that their manager may be sacked halfway through, and then they push on with a maybe better manager. That's my kind of prediction. He did really well to get them promoted, to fair play to their manager. But yeah, I'm going to go for 13th position, guys. They had a great end of campaign in the Championship, and they've obviously improved their squad. I think they're going to go 13th and massively surprise us. This could also be wrong. I'm not feeling fully confident in this one, but I'm going for Aston Villa, guys, at 13th. In 12th position in the new Premier League campaign, I've gone for Bournemouth. Again, I'm really not confident, guys, with the bottom half of this table. Maybe from 10th to 18th, I'm not confident at all. I've gone for Bournemouth, though. They've brought in a few players there, like Billing from Huddersfield, Lloyd Kelly, 13 million. Harry Wilson is a really good player. I like him a lot. I wouldn't even mind keeping him next season. I hope we don't sell Harry Wilson. I think he's really good. But they've got Harry Wilson. That's a good signing. They've got about, 40-ish million pounds spent there. They've lost the likes of Tyrone Mings, Mark Pugh there to QPR. They've lost quite a few players, but at the same time, they've brought in some hopefully decent players. And again, Bournemouth are a team which go from 10th or maybe even 9th to 16th. They're such a floating team around that area. So I've gone for 12th for Bournemouth. Again, not confident, but I'm sticking to it. Now on to a club that may surprise you. They're this high up in my prediction. In fact, the next two clubs are going to surprise you, to be honest. Try and guess them before I say them if you can in the comments as well. So I've gone for Leicester for 11th. Now, I know that they have sold a few players. They've released quite a few players as well. They've released the likes of their experienced striker there, Okazaki, released Danny Simpson. However, they've brought in Yuri Tillemans for 35 million from Monaco. They've brought in Jose Perez, which is a nice signing for 30 million. They've still got Vardy. They've got Ndidi? Yeah. They've got some good players. Mendy as well. They have a nice midfield. They've got a good quality team. And now they've got Brendan Rodgers, who is a good manager. No matter what you say, he has his own style. I think he'll do well for Leicester. I think he'll implement a nice playing style all in this pre-season, and you'll see a good start for them. I think they'll do well. They could even do better, but I've gone for 11th for Leicester. On to a club that I wasn't sure where to place them in my prediction, and it's a club that you guys know I've got a lot of family and friends. Newcastle, I've got a lot of respect for Newcastle. I like their fan base. The stadium is one of the best views I've ever been at in the stadium. Although we lost when Pepe Reina got sent off in 2012, I think it was the best view I've ever had. You can see the whole city from their stand. So I've gone for Newcastle, which is a bold prediction as the 10th place team in the new season. They've actually broken their transfer record, guys, with a purchase from Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga. Well, in Germany, it's Joe Linton, £40 million. Pretty sure he was a future star in FIFA 19. I like the left back they've got as well, Jetro Williams. Also, fun fact, Alan St. Maximin, lovely guy, has challenged me to a game of FIFA. He DM'd me the other day on Twitter. He follows the videos, so congrats to Alan on that new move. You gotta love Alan St. Maximin, guys. I'll probably travel to Newcastle to play him one day. Anyway, they bought him for £22 million on the transfer market from Nice. They've got Kyle Scott, Jake Turner there as the other two. They've lost, obviously, Perez, which is a big one, but replaced him with Joe Linton. And if they can keep Rondon is a beast, man. He's a good player. Obviously, though, the big thing with them is, guys, with Newcastle, will their club take to Steve Bruce? Obviously, being a former Sunderland manager, I remember seeing True Geordie's videos. I think it was about Steve Bruce, and he just pretty much didn't want him there, I'm pretty sure. So he'll get booed probably in their first few games, but man, they've got some nice players there now. I really like the signing of Alan St. Maximin and Joe Linton. I'm going to go for it. However, wouldn't be surprised, like Aston Villa, if Steve Bruce is to get sacked, then a better manager comes in. Newcastle can be an up and down club with who they bring in, but I've gone for 10th. That could be a massively incorrect prediction. We're going for it though. I like Newcastle. Taking bias out of it, that's my honest prediction. I'm going for 10th. Now on to the 9th position, and this will be a prediction that my good friend Spencer and his brother Seb are going to hopefully enjoy, but maybe not enjoy, because this prediction isn't all that favourable to West Ham. Although, I mean, if you're a West Ham fan, if you finish, in the top 8, that would be brilliant. I think that would be fantastic if West Ham finished top 7. I've gone for 9th. And again, West Ham are the kind of club which can go on a few win streaks. That's the phrase I'm looking for there. And they can be the club also that just become a bit of a mess. But I've gone for 9th for them. They've brought in the likes of Sebastian Haller from Frankfurt in Germany for £45 million. Very highly thought of striker. I like that signing. They've released Adrian to Ust, kind of. Andy Carroll's been released. Samir Nasri's been released. However, they have brought in Pablo Fornals from Villarreal for, £24 million. Roberto from Espanyol, I think he's a goalkeeper. And they have released a few players there. So they've released the likes of Lucas Perez to Alaves in Spain. Obiang has gone to Sassuolo. They've released quite a few players there. Reece Oxford's gone to Augsburg as well. But they've still got some decent players there. I like that they've kept on to the... Is it Declan Rice? Yeah, Declan Rice. He's a solid midfielder. I think he'll have an even better season this season. They've still got, obviously, their captain, and just, to be honest, they love their captain. It's good to see. Mark Noble, still there, experience. So I think they'll do okay. I reckon 9th, though, for West Ham. Now on to a club that I hear from all the time, from family and friends, whether it be for a bitter reason, like when we win, I get texts off my stepbrothers and friends and family who are Everton fans. And we're going to have to put Everton in the 8th position. Again, though, I wouldn't be surprised if they do better. I've always said it, I honestly do not mind Everton. It's only when we play them that I cannot stand them. It's probably because my granddad was a die-hard Blue, and one day my dad came back from an Everton game when he was about 7 years old and had to tell my granddad that he preferred Liverpool. Thank you, Dad, for that. Really appreciate it. Also, quick side note, random news. I'm actually going to be playing in I know it's weird, celebrity golf tournament, like a Pro-Am tournament. It's kind of strange saying that. But I'm going to be playing in a golf tournament, I think August 13th to August 15th in Northern Ireland at Port Rush. So that's cool. Been playing a lot of golf lately, but my dad's playing as well, so it's going to be fun. Anyway, my mum used to be the psychologist at Everton. Used to teach players like Leon Osman, Franny Jeffers. So I've got a lot of ties to Everton. Some of my best friends in life are all Everton fans. So I hear from them all the time. And they're all saying that they've had a really good transfer window. And I've got to say it, they really have, in my opinion. Right now, obviously the season has not started yet. Andre Gomez, 22 million. Lossie from Huddersfield for free. Fabian Delph is a very, very smart signing. He's a good player. Philippe Gbamin there from Mainz. Moise Keane from Juventus. I think Keane will be a very nice signing for them. And also, to be fair, they've sold players for a lot of money. Idrissa Gueye there to PSG, 29 million. Vlasic has gone to Moscow there, CSKA Moscow. Ademola Lookman to Leipzig in Germany, 22.5 million. Ashley Williams released there, and a few others released. Quite a few players have gone, but they have spent well. They are linked with Zaha, and if they bring Zaha in, they have a nice team. So I think Everton, although I'm predicting 8th, they could finish as high as 6th or 7th if they just get a few wins on the bounce together. But yeah, I'm going to go for Everton 8th for now, and you'll probably see why next, but let me know what you think about that one. Am I right or wrong? Now on to a club that could even do better than this. They could honestly challenge for the Champions League. However, I've just got to go with what I'm thinking, my gut feeling. No matter the team, this whole prediction is what I'm thinking. It's my gut feeling. And my gut feeling is saying that Wolves are going to be the 7th placed team in the Premier League this season. So they've brought in the £23 million signing in Patrick Cutrone there from AC Milan. Nice, potentially good player in the future. They brought in Neto from Braga. They brought in another Portuguese player there from Braga, that is Jordao. They have brought in the Real Madrid centre-back, I believe, in Jesus Vallejo. Leander Dendoncker has been signed on an official basis. And Raul Jimenez, very good player him, by the way, £30 million from Benfica. They've been smart with who they've brought in. I think they can bring back Helder Costa, who I think has gone back to Leeds on loan, but I think they can buy him. I think the Wolves have a good team, very strong team. They could challenge for the likes of Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal potentially if they get a strong start and obviously strong season. But I'm going to go for 7th for Wolves with the option for them to move up. However, I've got to say a position. I'm going to say 7th. I do think they could be better than that though. I think if you guys are to be honest with yourselves and just do a Premier League prediction yourself, you're probably going to put this team in 6th position. It's going to be Chelsea. Now, one of my best friends in life, Wolfie, he is a big Chelsea fan, and he would like me for putting Chelsea in 6th spot. That's obviously Wolfie from Maverick Wolves. And I think it's quite logical. They've got a new manager. They've lost one of the best players in the world in Hazard. Whenever that happens, you do see a drop-off. You saw it with us with Suarez. You see it with other teams as well. I've gone for 6th, though. I did actually have Chelsea, to be honest, at 4th spot. I think Lampard will be a very good manager. I'll see how that statement appears in like a year's time. I think he'll do well, though. The players and fans love him. I think he'll bring a new breath of fresh air. Sarri, to be fair, did well last season. Got him into the Champions League, won the Europa Cup. Had a very surprisingly better season than people gave him credit for. I think Sarri is a very good manager. However, obviously, there were issues with Kepa, the goalkeeper, other issues. But I think Chelsea, though, will do okay. If they get the Champions League without being able to bring in any more players, obviously they did officially buy Kovacic, I think maybe before the transfer ban happened, I think. Anyway, they've had to bring back loads of loan players. They've lost Hazard. If Chelsea get into the Champions League and into the top 4 for the Champions League, guys, I think that is a monumental achievement. With a new manager, with not being able to replace the likes of Hazard properly, that would be a fantastic achievement for them. Honestly, that would be huge. They have a good squad as well. Their young players can push on. They've got a lot of young English talent like Loftus-Cheek, like other players. What's the Hudson-Odoi? There you go. I reckon they'll do okay. They'll probably beat a few big teams with their squad as well. I think they'll get 6th, but again, if they get 4th, that is huge for Chelsea. Now on to our biggest rival in all of the Premier League in terms of, I guess, history and more. I mean, when we play them, it's probably still, to me, our biggest game. Every time I see this fixture, I look out for it. So, Manchester United, I'm predicting, will finish in 5th place. Yep, here come the comments. So, they brought in Harry Maguire for £80 million, which is mad. To me, I'd probably say, I think if you're a United fan, right, be honest how much you think Maguire's really worth. I would say 55, 60 million. 80 is just obviously because he's English with, needing an English player in the squad for, isn't there like a rule now where you need is it 5 English players in each Premier League team or each Premier League squad? I can't remember. But anyway, English players are often quite, I wouldn't say overhyped, I'd just say inflated. And Harry Maguire, he is a good centre-back. I like that signing a lot. I also really like the signing of Wan-Bissaka. If you're a United fan, I'd be very happy with that. But 125 million on those two players is quite steep, but they're getting 2 young, very good potential defenders there. They are good signings. No matter if you're a Liverpool fan like myself, you've got to hold your hands up and say they are good signings. Maybe not for the price, but still, especially with Maguire. However, I think they'll finish in 5th place, just missing out on the Premier League. You saw the run they went on when Solskjaer arrived. A breath of fresh air. The club felt good again for United fans. You also saw the end to their Premier League campaign. Didn't they lose to Cardiff on the last day of the season or something crazy? They did not. They had a terrible run at the end of the season. And the more I'm hearing about Solskjaer from football insiders, the more I'm hearing he doesn't really have that football knowledge to carry them through a whole campaign and make them improve. I don't see them getting in the Champions League, to be honest. I think they'll probably have to get rid of Solskjaer maybe at the end of next season. I don't see him lasting, guys. I think if you're a United fan, you may agree with that. I just don't see it happening. They've lost, obviously, Valencia there. He's gone to a team. Is that in South America, I think? They've released Ander Herrera there. They brought in Wan-Bissaka, Harry Maguire and Daniel James there. £15 million for Daniel James. I just don't see it. They've kept Pogba though, which is good for them. However, he clearly does not want to be there. If they do bring in Eriksen, then that's fantastic for them. That could push them on to Champions League. They're about to lose Lukaku. Can Rashford and Martial work together and last a whole season? Martial should be scoring 20 goals a season. I've said it for so long. He's so good. I think 5th though for Man United. That is my bold prediction. Do you agree? Even though I've just predicted Man United to finish 5th, I'm looking at Arsenal's current team and signings, and I'm thinking, I think it's going to be really close between Arsenal and Man United. However, I'm going to go for Arsenal in 4th, as I do think Man United will not have as good of a season as people tend to think. They're forgetting about the end of last season. I know they've got new players in, they've got a better defence, but I think Arsenal will just outdo them with their attack. Lacazette and Aubameyang are brilliant. Give it to them, Arsenal will score. For me, Arsenal need, again, they needed Ndombele, who's gone to Spurs. They needed him. A player like Fabinho, who can be amazing in that defensive mid-role, yet also ping a pass. Also get a goal every now and then. Fabinho's not really that type of player, but you know what I mean? A rock-solid midfielder. For me, that's what they really needed. They have, however, brought in a very good player in Nicolas Pepe from Lille. They brought Cabellos there from Real Madrid, got Saliba from St Etienne. They're about to surprisingly sign David Luiz, and they have also lost Koscielny. Did not like his unveiling at all. You've been at a club for 9 years, mate. You're a club captain for so long, and then you go and take your Arsenal shirt off for a Bordeaux shirt? Like, what's the freaking point? Whose idea was that for Koscielny to do that? Clearly, they did not think that through. That's only going to end in his reputation not being as good, and then also potential future clubs thinking, you know what? We're not going to buy him for that reason. Why did they do that? Anyway, their defence is not as strong as it should be. I think Kolasinac is not the player we thought he could be. I still would not be fully confident in Bellerin defensively, obviously. I think he's decent going forward. Mustafi at the back is a mistake waiting to happen. Leno, I think, will be a good goalkeeper. Obviously, again, Lacazette, Aubameyang are very good strikers together. It's just whether they can have those big performances against big teams. You saw it last season when we battered them 5-1. They can capitulate. And sometimes they can surprise us, but I'm going to go for a bold prediction. I'm going to go for 4th place. Hopefully for Arsenal fans, Mkhitaryan will step his game up. Hopefully Ozil will step his game up. Ozil's one of those players who he does not look like he wants to play football for Arsenal, but maybe he can improve for Arsenal. I think they'll get 4th though. I think they will. Thanks to their forward players. I think they will. Now on to the 3rd place team in my Premier League prediction, guys. I'm going to be going with Tottenham. And the reason why is because they have a very good squad as it is. They have improved their squad, in my opinion. They've brought in Ndombele, who looks to be maybe a great signing for them. Such a dominant midfielder for Lyon in the past, and going to be a very good signing. I think he'll be brilliant, maybe one of the signings of the year. Even though he did cost them 65 million, the fact they're now being linked very heavily to Dybala, and they were linked to Coutinho for a bit, tells me that players are considering Tottenham as a very strong team. Obviously, the Champions League runner-up this past season. Sorry, Spurs fans. Great fans. The ones that were in Madrid, by the way, fair play. I've said it so many times. Spurs fans, man, were brilliant in Madrid. We all got on really well. So I think they'll get 3rd place. Obviously, I think Dele Alli, for me, needs to have a really good season. I don't think he had the best season at all last season. He should be a player who gets near to 15 goals every season. Harry Kane, hopefully for Spurs fans, avoids injury. I think he's just played so much football the last few years, with England as well. I feel like he just needs a few games off. Anyway, I think they'll do very well this season again. I'm going for 3rd place for Spurs, and I think they'll run 2nd place very closely. Lucas had a great season last season as well. They've kept the likes of Vertonghen. They've kept the likes of Alderweireld. Lloris is still good with a mistake in him, but he's still a good keeper. I think they'll do very well. I'm going to go for 3rd for Tottenham. Now, guys, this has been the most difficult prediction in my life. I'm hoping I'm completely wrong with this one. I'm still torn on whether to predict that my Liverpool will finish as Premier League champions. Considering we lost by 1 point to Man City, we ran them so close. It pains me to say that I'm predicting that we are going to finish 2nd in the Premier League campaign. Guys, I'm saying it. I don't feel fully confident. I still think we could potentially win the Premier League. We have brought in not many players, to be fair. We've brought in Adrian. We've brought in the Dutch young centre-back. There's still talk of Coutinho being a loan player back to us. Things could change by the time this video goes live, by the way. And to be fair, I feel like we've got a few players in our squad now who will feel like new signings. The likes of the Ox coming back. The likes of Keita becoming the player we think he could become. Hopefully we keep Shaqiri, by the way. I really want to keep Shaqiri. Unless we lose Shaqiri and then Coutinho comes back, I would take Coutinho back. A lot of you guys may not want him back. I want him back for ability reasons. If he's available and he improves our squad and could push us to win our first Premier League title, imagine if Coutinho came back, right? And then we win the Premier League. Can you imagine that for 1 second? There have been players who've left in a worse way. Think of Luis Suarez. He wanted to go to Arsenal for £40 million and £1, for God's sake. Anyway, I would take Coutinho back. Anyway, I think we'll finish second, guys. I like some of our young players like Brewster as well. We have a great squad. Mane, Firmino, Salah. Hopefully they all stay fit. I think Origi's going to improve. He's looked very sharp in pre-season. We have players challenging for positions, which is always a good sign. Van Dijk is, in my opinion, the best centre-back in the world as well. Probably best defender in world football. And Matip became great last season. Gomez is back. Trent, Robbo, Milner is literally statistically the fittest player in our team right now, apparently, according to testing. So I'm liking our chances of giving Man City another strong run. However, I'm predicting that we're going to finish second. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I'm going for second, though, for my club, Liverpool. Now, that means that Manchester City, in my opinion, will win the Premier League campaign. However, I'm hoping I'm completely wrong and they finish second and we finish first. But I'm going for it, guys. I've got to be honest in my feelings, man. I'm going to say that Man City are going to finish first and become Premier League champions again for the third time in a row. They've looked very, very sharp in pre-season. They look very motivated to win a third Premier League title in a row. And I think, obviously, with Guardiola as their manager, they've brought in very, very astute signings. Rodri is a very good player. Will be a very welcome addition. I think Rodri will last at Man City for like another 5-6 years. Obviously, David Silva, it's his last season. He played great last season for them. I think they'll want to win the league for him more than anything. Company is left, which is massive, massive blow to them on and off the pitch. Obviously, he pretty much won Man City the league last season, scoring that wonder goal for them. I think City will win, though, because their squad is phenomenal. They brought in that left back who was out on loan at PSV back to their club. They've got rid of Danilo to Juve and are probably about to get Cancelo. That is an unbelievable signing. That's incredible. They've already got Kyle Walker there as well in their defence. They've got Laporte, who is brilliant. I mean, yeah, I think they're going to win it. Aguero, I think, maybe one of his last seasons at Man City, and will probably score another 20 goals as he always does. I think Man City guys are going to win the Premier League, in my opinion. I've got to be honest with you. Their squad is so stacked. It's silly. I think Jesus has got a lot to show in up front. Sterling has been phenomenal the last few seasons. Give him praise where it's due, man. He's been brilliant for City. Great player now for Man City, Raheem Sterling. Foden could be brilliant for them as well in the Champions League and the Premier League. However, guys, I'm going to go for it. I am predicting that Man City, regrettably, are going to win the Premier League. And hopefully I'm wrong, but that's my prediction. Done. Hopefully you've enjoyed it. Leave a like if you have, man. Subscribe for more videos like this as well. The Premier League is back. All the crazy dramas back. All the crazy actions about to happen, man, with the Premier League. Hopefully you've enjoyed this, man. Subscribe, leave a like, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.